So, when you think of Tasmania, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Maybe pristine wilderness, that remote island at the bottom of the world? Well, the real story is so much more complex, way more extreme, and honestly more paradoxical than you can even imagine. It's this incredible island where the ancient past is colliding head on with a startlingly fast future. Let's dive in and try to unravel this Tasmanian paradox.
Okay, just look at this number for a second. 43,600 years. It's a huge amount of time, right? It's almost impossible to really wrap your head around. What on earth could have been around for that long?
Believe it or not, that's the age of a single plant. It's called Lamatia tasmanica, or king's holly. It's tucked away in the Tasmanian wilderness, and this one single organism has been cloning itself, just surviving, since the last ice age. It is literally a living relic of deep time. All right, hold that thought about ancient survival. Now look at this number, 95%. This one represents a completely different kind of timescale, something much more recent and frankly, pretty alarming. Yeah, in just the last 60 years, a blink of an eye, 95% of the island's incredible, magnificent underwater kelp forests have just vanished. And that right there, that's the heart of the Tasmanian Paradox. A place of unimaginable ancient endurance, living right alongside catastrophic, lightning-fast loss. So this brings us to our first major theme, this idea of the paradox of time. This is where you can really see how Tasmania has become this battleground between deep, cyclical time and this brutally fast, straight-line modern time. And wow, this timeline just lays it all out, doesn't it? On one hand, you've got the Palawa, Tasmania's Aboriginal people, who built and sustained a culture here for over 40,000 years. And then, look at that tiny little sliver at the end. In 1803, the Great Severing begins, with British settlement, and in an instant, everything changes. You see, the Palala lived by what you might call breathing time. Their entire lives were woven into the cycles of the seasons, the tides, the stars. This quote here from an early colonist says it all. Their knowledge of the stars wasn't just some hobby. It was vital. They didn't just look at the cosmos. They were in rhythm with it. And then you contrast that with what the Europeans brought. Machine time. It's linear, it's standardized, it's completely rigid. It's the time of the clock, the factory, the calendar, and it just severed that deep, natural connection, forcing a whole new industrial rhythm onto the land and the people. Okay, let's move on to our next paradox, the paradox of place, because this is where it gets even stranger. Tasmania isn't just a clash of different times, it's a clash of environments. It is a land of both absolute purity and industrial poison, literally existing side by side. I mean, seriously, how is this even possible? On the northwest coast, you've got a place called Cape Grim. It's where scientists go to measure the official baseline for the cleanest air on the entire planet. But then, right near the capital, Hobart, you have the Risdon Zinc Works, a site with over 100 years of heavy metal pollution. The purest and the poisoned, all on one small island. And let's go back to that incredible plant we met, the Lomatia tasmanica. It's beautiful, isn't it? So delicate. But its beauty is hiding a biological secret that is it's almost unbelievable. So here's the mind-bending part. This isn't a species of many plants. It is one single genetic individual. For over 43,000 years, this one plant has survived by just dropping branches that then take root and grow. It's sterile, so it can't make new genetic variations. And this makes it this incredible paradox. It's critically endangered because one disease could wipe out the entire organism, and yet it's also theoretically immortal. And of course, these wild contradictions aren't just in the land and the plants. They're in the people, too. Tasmanian society is itself this fascinating study in contradictions, from how they see their own space to their capacity for radical, sudden change. Okay, check out this chart. It shows this really weird psychological paradox. Tasmania is way bigger than the Netherlands, right? But its population is over 60 times smaller. The Netherlands is one of the most densely populated places on Earth. And yet, you'll often hear people in Tasmania say the island feels full. And society has this bizarre ability for what some call rapid phase shifts. I mean, after the absolute horror of the 1996 Port Arthur massacre, the entire country, really led by a huge push from Tasmania, just pivoted. Almost overnight, they enacted some of the toughest gun control laws in the world. something other countries still struggle to do. And it's not a one-off thing. You see the exact same pattern with social issues. In 1996, Tasmania was clinging to some of the most archaic, harshest anti-gay laws in the Western world. Just 1 year later, bam, it becomes the very last state in Australia to decriminalize homosexuality. It's that same pattern, incredible resistance followed by a sudden, radical shift. So, you take all of this, the extremes of time, of place, of people, where does it all point? Well, it leads to this really fascinating and pretty provocative theory that some people are talking about. It's called the Tasmanian singularity. So, what is it? The theory goes that Tasmania has kind of stopped being just an island. It's become a microcosm, a sort of test lab for humanity itself. It's the place where our ancient, deep-time biology is being forced to reckon with our lightning-fast technological future. To put it simply, this is it. This is the place where a 40,000-year-old culture that lived by the stars meets a modern society that generates 100% renewable energy and is seriously grappling with the ethics of things like de-extinction. It's all happening here. And that really leaves us with the big question, right? When we look at all these paradoxes in Tasmania, are we seeing a blueprint for how the rest of humanity can balance its past and its future? Or are we seeing a stark warning of what happens when those forces collide too violently? And I'll leave you with one final, truly mind-bending idea that came up in the research. What if this isn't just a metaphor? Some theorists actually see these forces building towards a kind of universal tipping point, a specific moment, maybe even a specific date where humanity has to finally choose. It's a pretty wild thought to end on, isn't it?